The philosophy of free will. Are we really in control? Welcome to Beyond the Brain. Today we will explore one of philosophy's most captivating questions. Do we really have control over our actions, or are we merely following a predetermined script? The concept of free will challenges our understanding of autonomy and responsibility. Let's dive into the arguments for and against free will to unravel this intriguing debate. The arguments for free will. 1. Libertarianism, the power of choice. Libertarianism, in philosophical terms, asserts that free will and determinism cannot coexist. According to this view, our choices are not predetermined by past events or natural laws, but arise from our own independent will. Robert Kane, a key advocate, argues that true free will involves self-determination, where individuals can shape their own futures. This perspective is supported by our subjective experience of making choices. For instance, when you decide between a cup of coffee and a cup of tea, you feel that these choices are truly yours. 2. Existentialism. Freedom amidst absurdity. Existentialism offers another strong defense of free will. Jean-Paul Sartre famously declared, "Existence precedes essence," meaning that we are born without predefined purposes and must create our own values and meanings through our actions. Despite external influences, existentialists believe that we retain the power to choose how we respond. This sense of personal responsibility and the ability to shape our own destiny supports the notion of free will. 3. Intuitive evidence, the experience of agency. Many people rely on intuitive evidence to support free will. Our everyday experiences suggest that we make decisions freely. When we choose a career path or select a meal, we perceive these choices as independent of external constraints. This feeling of agency, believing that we control our actions, supports the notion of free will. Psychological research also suggests that our belief in free will is crucial for motivation and self-improvement. Arguments against free will. 1. Determinism, the illusion of freedom. Determinism argues that every event, including human actions, is determined by preceding causes. According to this view, our choices are not truly free, but are bound by prior states of the universe and natural laws. David Hume argued that our actions are determined by our desires and beliefs, suggesting that our sense of freedom is an illusion. If everything we do is the result of past causes, our feeling of free will might just be a comforting misconception. 2. Neuroscientific evidence, the brain's influence. Recent neuroscientific evidence challenges the concept of free will. Studies using brain imaging technologies like fMRI show that brain activity related to decision-making occurs before we consciously experience the decision. For example, experiments by Benjamin Libet demonstrated that brain signals indicating a decision happen milliseconds before participants report their conscious choice. This raises questions about whether our sense of free will is merely a post hoc rationalization of unconscious processes. 3. Biological determinism, the genetic blueprint. Biological determinism suggests that our behavior is significantly influenced by our genetic makeup. Traits such as aggression and intelligence have genetic components, implying that our actions may be shaped by biology. If our genetic and neurological makeup determines our tendencies and behaviors, our capacity for free will might be constrained. This perspective challenges the notion of free will by emphasizing the role of biology in shaping human actions. Compatibilism, a middle ground. Compatibilism proposes a middle ground, suggesting that free will and determinism can coexist. Daniel Dennett argues that free will should be understood as acting in accordance with our own desires and intentions, rather than absolute freedom from causation. As long as we act without coercion and according to our own motivations, we can be considered to have free will, even if our choices are influenced by prior causes. Conclusion. The debate over free will is both profound and complex. On one hand, proponents argue for genuine choice and autonomy through libertarianism, existentialism, and intuitive evidence. On the other hand, critics cite determinism, neuroscientific findings, and biological determinism to challenge the notion of free will. Compatibilism offers a nuanced view, suggesting that free will and determinism can coexist. Exploring these perspectives helps us understand personal responsibility and the nature of human freedom. deepening our grasp of what it means to be truly in control of our actions. The true question is, what do you think?